Welcome to the DC Spotlight Podcast, you guys. It is
Welcome.
Sunday, November 24th. How's everybody's doing? It's been about 3 weeks since the election. And let me welcome our host, our co-host. I'm the host of the DC Spotlight Podcast. I'm the editor-in-chief of the DC Spotlight newspaper. And our co-hosts today are Tracey Chavous and Zoe McKay. So how's everybody doing today?
I'm doing well.
Okay, that's good. That's
Okay,
good.
good. Thank you.
Yeah, good. So let's jump right in. Another dollar, another day, another week, and we pray. So this is the week that was, from missiles to misconduct to mass cabinet appointments. We have a lot to cover this week. So I'm not going to start with the usual talking about the election. I'm going to first hit on something that's more drastic. Are we on the verge of World War III? So Biden's about to end his administration, his presidency. And right before he ends it, he sends longer range missiles to Ukraine to fight Russia. And these missiles can strike right into the heart of Russia. And it's beginning to do that. They just knocked out a large bridge and other um, locations in Russia. Are we on the verge of World War III? What is going on here? And was this a good move? So let's start with you, Zoe. What do you think?
I would say that I'm confused. I want to know what the end goal was for this action for President Biden. All things considered, he's entering the final days of his term. The reins are about to be given to Donald Trump. I want to know, what was he thinking when he said that this was the right move, this was the right idea? Because foreign policy has always been a primary concern of mine when concerning Donald Trump getting the presidency. All things considered, Putin and Netanyahu just like rejoiced at the thought of Trump being president again. So a final stand at the clock is running out. We have 5 seconds until the buzzer, and I'm just confused. I don't know what his intention was.
Tracy, what do you think?
I need more information.
Yeah.
I've been watching you know, different evening news broadcasts and so on. I think people are talking about so many different things. There's so many balls in the air. It's confusing. Um, I
Yeah.
wouldn't go so far as to say World War III. I just want to know, like, when is this happening? I saw it was approved. Who's involved? Who gave the okay? Like, what's the point? You know, it,
Conference to
it's a
explain
lot.
it.
It
Where's the
is a
press
lot.
conference?
Where's all of it? Where is
Yeah.
all of it? And one thing that was being discussed, I do know, yesterday, I don't know if it was a taping, but there was a reporter who said, like, where is Vice President Kamala Harris? And someone said, she's taking a few deserved days off. Like, it's okay. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, a press conference I think would have been in order. And from President Biden's cabinet members, who are especially in charge of the military and all of that. It's confusing and it's hard to follow the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm confused. I'm completely confused and with no information. Like
Not enough
confused.
information. Not
None.
enough information.
None.
I feel
And
like, in a way, I don't want to be immune to anything, but in a way, I feel like it's a distraction because we don't have any information. And I keep turning the channels, reading things, blogs, posts, papers, magazines. Don't know.
yeah, yeah, it's scary, but at a time where half of America is kind of tuned out, So it's like, you
I
know,
agree on the tuned out
yeah,
part.
yeah. I have
Overwhelmed.
a lot of friends who have said I still haven't watched the news. So it's just so let's move on to the big elephant in the room
Mm.
for a second. Let's just get it out of the way. What do you think about Trump's Wild Wild West cabinet choices? So Trump has been picking cabinet choices for his new administration. And some believe that the reason why he's making these choices so quickly is because he cheated and that he already knew that he was going to win. So he already had this lined up early because he didn't do this the last time. So we have Pete Hegseth. We
Yeah,
have,
Hegseth, yep.
yeah, Hegseth. We have Robert F. Kennedy. We have Elon Musk, Matt Gates, and these are a few of the what they're calling weird candidates.
Well, Matt Gates
And
is not even on the list anymore.
yeah, well, he's not on the list anymore because he dropped out,
He
which
had to.
thank God he did drop out because he wasn't qualified. I think he was afraid himself
I don't think
of
yeah, yeah.
you don't think he was afraid?
No, no. I was going to interject. Like, I don't think that it's not only that he's not qualified, but that he has this like insane sexual predatory behavior with underage girls. And he has
Allegedly.
allegedly has this long list of accusations and charges and major entanglements that would get in the way of him making good decisions. Like you said, the Wild Wild West cabinet, I feel like so many of those people are wildly incapable
Yes,
and they
yes.
don't
What
match the positions. Okay,
they don't
so
they don't match a lot of
because
things.
Kennedy, because he has some particulars on how he allegedly cured himself of cancer and things that he believes in. Although there are a lot of things that he says that I don't believe are untrue, but I don't think that means he's fit to run the FDA.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm a certified holistic health coach. I read a ton about a lot of things, but that doesn't mean I can run the FDA, which is like
Yeah,
6 blocks
where
from my house. I don't.
exactly.
I don't.
Zoe, jump in here.
I am going to put on my tinfoil hat for a second.
Oh my
Um,
God. Please
a
do. And do
trend
you
with the
have
Republic
two more for us
It's
also?
tragic.
a
Yes.
trend with the Republican Party that
Ooh.
they tell their followers is that we need state-led government. We don't need federal government. That's a main precedent that they set. So I think that Donald Trump's approach is he's going to make the federal government so incompetent, so
Mm-mm.
useless that in the next 4 years, the main tone that's going to be ringing throughout the presidential election is that we have no need for a federal government anymore.
Oh my God, that's
That's
ingenious.
That
that's
is
what
a.
I think is going to happen.
That's ingenious. And I could see him saying that. I could honestly see him saying that because he's tried so much to make the Constitution, the federal government, the education department, all of these things obsolete. So for you to say that, that sounds like it's right, something he would do.
Because he
I
won,
thought
right?
that when he brought up Dr. Oz, I automatically knew. What does Dr. Oz have anything? He's not even a real doctor. So
Imagine that.
Oh my God. So what do you believe? What do you think about what do you think about let's kind of talk a little bit about Gates's resignation. Um I believe that because you know that once you're in Congress, you're under the ethics board. Well, I don't think it's called an ethics board. I think it's called the ethics well, it's ethics, the ethics department. Um and but the weird thing about that is they handle ethics only for Congress, members of Congress. So whatever you've done wrong, once you leave Congress, they are like, we're done. We're done here. So what do you think is going to happen to him now? Because what do you think? Do you think they can? Because these young girls who allege that he did this, can't they? Can't they file a lawsuit, or can they? Or what's?
Unless they sign some, unless these young ladies sign something, right? I mean,
Or
they could
can
do whatever they want. Apparently, and allegedly, they were paid for their
no?
activities, but I don't know if they were paid to keep quiet.
The young girls were allegedly.
Hmm.
Oh,
The other
really?
day on, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was CNN or something, and it happened to be on social media. So there was a diagram
Mm-hmm.
stemming from Matt Gates's phone that had to do with it wasn't Cash App and it wasn't Zelle. I don't
Venmo.
Venmo,
Yes.
and it was a diagram that showed all of the contacts for the payment. So it showed the payment and then who it went to and for what. It was like a spreadsheet in addition to a diagram. It's very, very webby. It's very entangled. It's a mess. And again, that situation was becoming a focal point, and I think they were like,
he was
go.
very smart. He was very smart to
How?
resign. He was very.
I think he was told. If it were me, I would have made him resign.
Well, that's not going to happen.
I would have been like, you have to step down. This is causing a problem within the party. Step down. I'll find somebody else. We'll train you or do whatever, brainwash you while you're over here handling your business. And then this person is going to step in the meantime. We'll find something for you. They've created positions.
Positions.
Right? We'll find something for you. Go over here, Yeah.
But you have to understand, I kind of beg to differ, because how's it creating a problem when the president-elect, has similar problems himself?
But you know what? At this point, I hate to say, it doesn't matter because he's been elected, right? So he's already in position. He's in queue.
Don't bring someone else on.
Right. So he's like new trouble. No, new exposed trouble. Right. Okay. He was kind of trouble before, but people stopped talking about it. We were distracted by many other things. Now here it comes again, because he was going to have this position that, he was recommended for. Then all of this other stuff started coming up. That's why I don't understand why they won't dig deeper on the rest of them.
Yeah. This is
Hegseth too.
This is to be continued. We'll see. So moving on to the other issue, which was a surprise to me. I mean, I knew it was coming, but it was a surprise that it came out so quickly. The transgender bathroom ban. So it's been announced that there's a Capitol Hill restroom ban where transgender members of Congress will have to use the restroom of their original sex and not their assigned sex. What do you think about this? And so some parents and activists are arguing that this is a good thing, because there was a huge controversy about this. What do you think about that? I'll give my opinion after you guys go. What do you think, Zoe?
I have a lot of strong opinions about this. Okay. Again, it's back to my gripes with the Republican Party. I feel like the Republican Party manufactures problems and issues for us to focus on to create division. Transgender people have existed for a long time. They didn't just pop up in 2020. So transgender people have been using restrooms that they present as for a long time, not just in 2020. So I believe that this is a distraction. I believe it's unnecessary. I believe it's just creating more hate in the country right now. I also believe that it is fueling the Republican mindset, the conservative mindset right now. People don't even realize your own bathroom in your own household is a gender neutral bathroom. I live with brothers. I have a dad. We all use the same bathroom. It's not as big of an issue as people are saying that it is. And yeah, that's just my opinion about it. I just feel like it should.
Let me be devil's advocate. So your bathroom, your dad and your brother is not going to come in the bathroom with you, though.
That's true.
So these bathrooms, I work in Congress. So these bathrooms are bathrooms that is not just one person goes in there. It's like 2 people, 4 people, 5 people can go in that bathroom. So, do you think that makes a difference?
I really don't. If a person has intention to pursue violence towards another individual, they're going to do that without the restraints that gendered bathrooms provide. If someone wants to do harm to a woman in the bathroom, they'll just go.
But what about a child?
A child? I think of it this way as well. When my dad would take me out on to the grocery store or to the mall, and we'd have to go to the bathroom, he would have to take me in with him to the men's bathroom or ask a random woman to come and take me to the bathroom. So I don't believe, because children shouldn't be going to the bathroom unaccompanied to begin with if they're below a certain age. So I believe that this is just introducing a problem that does not exist.
What do you think, Tracey?
Well, thank you for those points, Zoe, because you brought up something important regarding sharing a home bathroom. Now, I grew up in a home that had one bathroom too, and I had a brother and a dad and my mom. But again, we closed the door. When you go into public restrooms, and there are stalls, most of them have a door, right? And then, as far as individuals who happen to be transgender, like Zoe said, these bathrooms and these issues already existed. And so why are we making this humongous mountain out of something? I don't know about Capitol Hill, but being a former educator, though, we had girls' bathrooms, boys' bathrooms. We had a staff bathroom, but our staff bathrooms weren't gender staff bathrooms. And then now I have sons who are now 24. Well, when we were raising them from little people, that's when the whole family bathroom concept came up, where everybody went into this one bathroom, whether it was a mom and a dad, two moms, two dads, whatever. Everybody went into the bathroom, the older sibling, the younger sibling, and there was something for everybody to use the bathroom. It was a changing table, a urinal, a toilet, all of that. I think it's a big distraction also, like Zoe said. And I said, why are we making this like national news? If you're going to change your bathroom structure on the Hill, change it. Make it so that it's inclusive. Make it so that there are multiple stalls in each bathroom, and then make one that's like, call it what you want, gender neutral,
I think that's
inclusive,
for, yeah,
all family, right? But then that's a huge financial undertaking as far as infrastructure is concerned, right? Because most of the buildings on the Hill are old. They haven't had a lot of things done perhaps on the inside. You're thinking of a whole other slew of things. Schools have
well,
been going through this for a long time.
it can be done because you can take one bathroom, because there's several bathrooms on each floor in
Mm,
Congress. You can take one bathroom that's been used as a women's bathroom and you can change it to gender neutral. So if you want to go in there, you have to expect that there are going to be transgender, all different types of sexes
correct.
going in there. So
Correct.
you can do that. But the thing is, there were problems, quote, problems with handicap, things when you had to change everything and expenses that had to go into play
True.
when we had to make room and make things accessible for people who had handicaps and wheelchairs and things like that. So it can be done. It can be
Oh, it
done.
can be done, but the thing is that it's the law, right? If you're
Hmm.
disabled, it's the
Hmm.
law. So, there's a whole lot of negotiations with all of that. Laws, signing off. People need to, like approve. I feel like why if I were I'm disabled, but I'm not physically disabled. But if I were, I would want to be able to have a say in how that bathroom is designed because I know what I need based on a walker, a brace, a wheelchair, a prosthetic, or whatever. Whereas a regular person that doesn't have any disabilities is going to be left to design it and build it. Why? I feel like we need to be consulting, spokespeople and leaders in certain communities to see what it is they really want. And if it is something that everyone else involved in making those changes agrees with, they should go for it. But I agree, it's a distraction. Why are we talking about this? Just change the sign on the bathroom and make it accessible for everyone. Move on.
So
It's a
simple.
bathrooms missiles.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, entertainment. Well, this is slightly politics and entertainment. This was a big deal, though, and I think this what I'm about to mention is going to be a huge topic later on.
Mm.
And I don't see how Oprah got into. I don't know how she got into this. So, did Oprah get paid $1 million by the Harris campaign? Well, she says she did not, and technically she did not, but her company got paid over $1 million is what I've read. So, what are your
Hmm.
findings on this? What are your findings on this?
I have questions.
Yeah, I have questions
I have
because
questions. I really can't formulate an opinion without some questions. Other
okay,
than I would make a statement. Wasn't Beyonce paid $1 million allegedly
no,
too?
no, she was paid. Her mom says, I don't, I'm only telling you what I've read from reputable sources. I mean, when I mean reputable sources,
Okay.
not on social media. Beyonce's mom has come out and said, Beyonce has not come out and said it, as far as I know, but her mom said she was paid nothing. And Oprah says the same thing. I was paid nothing. And usually that is the case. Most
Why don't they
celebrities,
believe her? Why don't they believe them?
but Oprah says her company was paid. That's different than Beyonce. Beyonce was paid nothing. I don't think her company or anything, anybody else were paid anything either. But Oprah's own company was paid for that appearance. And they're saying it was like over $1 million.
Was it
So
for creating, the right lighting and the makeup and all this?
yeah, well, yeah,
Like
yeah.
over
She
a
she she did
million?
a show. She did a show. She did a show
Right.
with
In
Harris,
Detroit.
and she had, I don't know if was it Detroit, but anyway, I know it had a lot of celebrities on it. It was a very well done,
It
well
was.
orchestrated
Well, don't you
show.
think the people who worked with her to help her put that show on deserve equal
To be
wages
paid.
and
Exactly,
lodging?
to
Right?
be
That's
paid.
that's
But I think the problem is um the how much were they paid is that's the thing. They're saying $1 million for I think it was like an hour show. And
right.
so
But
I
who's
think
not?
that was,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
So what I think, and I'm gonna let you speak in a minute, Zoe, just 1 second. I think um it's a way you do things. It's a way you do things. So the way Oprah's handling this is not the way that Oprah normally handles things like this. She usually, when she came out, so TMZ or somebody stopped her as she was walking somewhere and they asked her. So she did not issue a statement. They asked for a statement and then she spoke.
Mm.
So I think you squash this right now. You just say, I need to issue a statement. This is what happened. This is my people deserve to be paid. They were paid. They were paid at the market rate. Period. Point blank. That's it. Instead of letting this just fester and fester. And now the Republicans have grabbed this as a toy to play with. So,
Mm.
so Zoe, what do you think?
I think that her being dodgy about her response is aiding into the sentiment of people not trusting people with money. As we enter a recession, people are genuinely distrustful of people who are billionaires, millionaires, and that was a main point of contention behind Kamala Harris having all these endorsements from these big celebrities like Beyonce. That's why people were thought, oh, she was paid so much money to be here. Like we shouldn't get our political advice from people who are in the top 1%. So if she were to come out and say, this money was not paid to me, but paid to the people who helped me produce this, right? I feel like it would sort of help change the narrative in a way, because that was a lot of Republicans' main concern. Like, why is the rich and elite co-signing the Democratic Party when us non-rich and non-elite are focusing with the Republicans? Obviously, we shouldn't trust the Democrats. So I feel like that's the main point of contention. I think that she needs more transparency. I think there needs to be transparency regarding any type of payment during a presidential campaign in
So,
general.
so I think that's true. That should, and you're absolutely right. That should, but I think it should be on both sides.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Because
both sides.
we're
That
we're bamming a hammer on the head of Democrats and saying you should do the right thing, do the right thing, do the right thing.
correct. It's just
But
I feel like it's all a distraction.
it's, yeah, it's another
It
distraction. Yeah,
definitely is.
exactly. So on a brighter note, the Montgomery County Food Bank has seen a surge in this time of high prices and, spending out the wazoo for groceries, and they've seen a surge in new donations. So can you tell me what, just briefly, what is that about? Do you think why are people, I mean surge, huge donations. So what does that seem like is going on there?
I will say, as we proceed closer to a recession, I feel like the citizens of the United States are like looking for community, looking
yeah.
for help within their communities and not solely on the basis of government. So, seeing these large donations to this food bank, I believe that it's like a glimpse of hope. Like, not all people are bad, and we all can work together So I think it's a good thing, and I hope this trend just echoes across the United States as we get deeper and deeper into the Trump presidency that's looming above us right now.
Yeah, Tracey, what do you think?
I think there's still a lot of people out here who are good and true and want to share, altruistic ways to come together. I, but here's the thing, like you said, devil's advocate. I kind of feel like a lot of people want to make donations to organizations and nonprofits and participate in something because it genuinely makes them feel good, that they did something to help make a difference for someone, particularly during the holidays. But then I always used to get upset about how once the holidays faded, you didn't see the same type of giving occurring on a regular basis. Someone who's homeless today and needs a Thanksgiving meal on Thursday is going to need a meal on Friday and Saturday and December 25th and all of that. And even if the opportunity comes about where homelessness is not the next step for them, they may have found safe housing or recruited or found some type of assisted living situation. People's situations still exist after the holidays. And although I believe in humanity and the idea of hope and have a strong sense of faith, I think that people generally feel that way, very giving during the holiday, right? Many hands make for life, labor. So if everybody's contributing one small thing, then the people who need it the most benefit. But I don't think we should just drop it after the holidays, especially coming up in the next year to 4 years.
As someone who myself, I mean, I'm a huge advocate for homeless people. That is my cause that I've taken on, especially homeless children. Um, I always hear, please don't come on Thanksgiving and volunteer. Don't come on Christmas and
Right,
volunteer. Come a week before. Come in July.
right.
Come in because they
Yeah,
said people want to show up at that time and kind of show up and show themselves as opposed to
doing
volunteer
it to do.
altruistically. Yeah.
Right, right.
So yeah, so I encourage our viewers to go in and volunteer or donate, but do it not just at Christmas and Thanksgiving. Find other times. Your birthday, like I do it on my birthday. So yeah, so that's a great time to go and help out those who are homeless and
Yeah.
need help
I
in
think
our
it's going to
community.
increase, unfortunately, in
Yeah.
large
Oh,
numbers.
oh
And
my
I
God.
think even if you can give one can of food or, share part of your, eggs with someone that and having a hard time, that's going
Yeah.
to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
It's kind of like just going to church on Easter Sunday, but not
Yeah.
the
And
other Sunday of the year.
I truly believe that I know someone particularly who helps with going to homes and bringing food and things to homeless people out of her own pocket.
Mhm.
She there are programs that she works with also, but then she meets people and the funds run out and then she
Yeah,
continues to help them with their own money. She said, and a lot of them voted for Trump. She said, and these programs are going to be
are going
gone.
to be cut. They're going to be
They're going to be
gone.
gone. They're going to be
They are
gone.
going to be gone
Yeah. So just as an
slowly but
aside,
surely.
it's going
Hmm.
to be a lot of people who are going to need help and they may not be in your party. So just
I just want to know
prepare
what made them think that they would change with the person
that
who
that a wealthy
hates
man, a
every
wealthy
single
man
a
from New York,
wealthy
billionaire
con
cares
artist,
about you.
billionaire.
Yeah. Yeah. So next.
Mm.
So I hate to be a Debbie Downer. Are we are we on the verge of becoming a lawless society? Because I mean, there are so many things that I could just name a plethora of them, instances that have happened this week or this past week. But one in particular was Jesse Smollett, I think is how you pronounce his name, conviction for false hate crime for a false hate crime claim was overturned. So is this okay? So is the world becoming like more lawless? Because there are no consequences now, it seems, for your actions, which is something he allegedly did. And I think it was kind of obvious that he did it, allegedly, I'll say. And there's no consequences. It's just thrown out. And now they're talking about, like Trump had mentioned, I heard no, I think I read, no, I think I saw this where he said that he was working on getting the prosecutor for Diddy removed from the case so the case could be thrown out. What is this? I mean, are there any consequences anymore?
No, not for people who can pay off, the people who create, who are in law and who are judges and things like that. That's been happening for decades. But I don't know about Jussie Smollett, but I do feel like, not focusing on him as as an entertainer, but I do think I personally felt like I saw a lot more lawlessness at kind of toward the tail end of COVID. People were cooped up all the time. I've never seen more reckless driving in my life than I have in the last, I don't know, 14 months or so. Everywhere, any time of day. It doesn't matter what day of the week. It could be 7 o'clock in the morning. It could be 7 p.m. It could be later, although I'm not out much later than that, unless it's a celebration once in a blue moon, but horrible. I read yesterday somebody in my neighborhood posted in a neighborhood app that she was in a popular, busy shopping center area, and there are only two lanes that merged to the light. One going one way, one going the other. And this person came out of nowhere and decided they weren't going to wait anymore. And they drove up on the curb and made their own lane and wove their way in to get to the light and made the left when the light turned green because they didn't want to wait.
Well, I've noticed, just you mentioning that, that's funny. You should mention that because I've noticed more people are just running stop signs. Just, I mean,
Stop
not
signs, getting hurt. We've had the fourth pedestrian accident in a popular crossway near us. And not just with laws, even litter. The litter is insane now. Like along the Beltway and around 395, 495, Baltimore, everywhere. DC, Montgomery County, it doesn't matter. It's like so much trash. People don't feel like they have to explain.
Oh, and another
Mhm,
thing,
mhm.
the bus system. They said that no one pays the bus fare
Oh,
anymore.
Metro, yeah,
Yeah, they're saying no one pays the bus fare anymore. And so
for the train. Yep.
we did some research on that. We're asking the bus drivers, and then we're saying no. They're like no one pays. They just come on the bus and ride. And the bus driver says nothing to them. They said.
Because they're afraid, just like when people are the shoplifting was getting really bad in CVS and Walgreens and certain places. You go to the grocery store, look what's locked up now: baby formula, detergent, toothpaste,
Yeah. Yeah.
deodorant. I have to
And it's
wait.
only go on.
Yeah,
You have to wait
I'm
to.
saying you have to ring a little bell to get someone who hopefully is available to come and unlock this plexiglass case for you to get your deodorant.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's only going to get worse when these programs
And
leave.
it's in certain neighborhoods.
Yeah, when these programs actually this was in a nicer neighborhood. I'm
Right,
not going to
but it's
mention
going
the
to impact
neighborhood, but
everybody though.
yeah, yeah, but
People
I
think
mean
they're
because
immune.
well the thing is once your neighborhood becomes inundated and the police, start patrolling more in your neighborhood, then you move to a better neighborhood where there's not that much patrolling and you continue. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's a
can
vicious
only
cycle.
Yeah, I can only say it's going to get much worse because once these programs are cut and people realize they're in a panic that there's nothing they can do, it's gonna be you talk about the wild wild west in the cabinet. It's gonna be the wild wild west in the community. Yeah. Yeah, I
But don't
I
you
don't
think
know.
really subconsciously, not even subconsciously, don't you think that the former president, Trump, sort of he was a proponent of that based on the hate that he spewed about certain people and certain things that he was going to do to certain people, and the way that he puts down certain people, insults their religion, insults their abilities, like how he made fun of a disabled child, who he could have actually been referencing someone a young boy that was in his family. Just the way that he shows his disrespect and uses his words give people who are already dancing around the idea of hating everyone and everything, it kind of gives them the liberty to make a decision like, well, the president of the United States acts like this, I'm going to do it too. And the other place where you're seeing a lot of that type of behavior starting to even spill out with younger and younger children are schools. A lot of teachers that are like 2 to 5 years away from retirement are choosing to leave early because of the lack of discipline, the lack of support from higher ups, and then the higher demands of the curriculum and all of that. Because of COVID, so many kids were behind, starting to catch up a little bit, but still teachers are suffering from burnout, and they're like, I'll find something else.
Now,
Can you say it again?
Do you know what the refrain is? The refrain is from kids today. Donald Trump does it and gets away with it. Teenagers are saying that. Teenagers are saying that. Young adults.
Some of them are also saying, I'm a minor and you can't do anything to me.
Well, I'm a minor. That's a Trump mentality too.
It is.
Yeah,
it's invincibility is at a high level.
It's gonna trickle. Talk about trickle down effect. It's gonna trickle down. So that's our show for tonight. But before we go, I wanted to just say a quick shout out to Alex Ovechkin. He's with the Washington Capitals. Alex has a broken left fibula, is what I've learned, and he's expected to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. So the Capitals are going to be without their star player. So get well, Alex, and hopefully you'll be back out there on the ice soon. Well, that's all the time we have, ladies, and we will be back next week with more news, more politics, more entertainment from the DC metro area and the United States of America, the great United States of America. God bless us all. So from the DC Spotlight podcast, take care of yourself. And no matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican, take a break, get out, enjoy this beautiful weather we're having, including the snow flurries that we're having, and don't let politics stress you out. Take some time to recuperate, to heal from the election, and be good to yourself. Until next week, carpe diem, and more importantly, go out and do something extraordinary this week. We'll see you next week on this podcast. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.